Okay, Sandeep, should we make a start now? I think I think it's 2 minutes into the session. So why don't you kick off the proceedings, giving an introduction of why we are meeting today? I think it's a special occasion for both of us. So let's start with that, please.
Yeah. Thank you, Chirantan. It's a pleasure to be here today and announcing that we've been formed this company last year, basically similar time. So it's been a year, and we have touched around like 270 students from various industries like BFSI, constructions, HR, legal, IT, management, and strategic consulting, where we have transformed lives from an analyst to an executive director level, and increment between, say, in their salaries in between 20% and in some cases up to 110% we have seen, which makes it a big celebratory event for us and a big, massive success for AgileBA. And I mean, you guys know, I think some of you are former students, and you know that we focus on quality and results rather than conducting a course where sometimes an output is not even realized, And as you also know, or as you already know, that it's a celebratory event. So our grand offering is one-time goodwill gesture, which we are offering a whooping 27% of discount of 3 of our courses today, namely hybrid business analysis, PFMP, and PGMP, right? People who leave us their email addresses today will receive a copy of an exclusive salary service, which will not be freely available on Google, guys, okay? And secondly, people who are active today within this webinar and will be asking questions and stuff. So we will be giving them 1 hour dedicated career counseling session for 2 lucky winners from today, right? But this is need to be really, you need to be really active in asking questions and really participating in the event. Third is, in order to avail that 27% of discount, you need to leave us, of course, your email address, your phone numbers, and with your LinkedIn account, guys, in the chat, okay? Or you can email it to us. I will put my our contact details on the chat, right? And if you have any questions, just feel free to ask, at the end of the session. So, Chirantan, I mean, can you please take us through a pedagogy, why we guys are different, basically, in AgileBA,
Yeah. Thanks, Sandeep. But before I go through the pedagogy, maybe we'll just quickly introduce ourselves. So, Sandeep, for people who don't know us, I think there are quite a few of people here who know us, but a couple of people who don't know us. Then I think, Sandeep, do you want to introduce yourself first? And then I'll go with my introduction, and then we'll come to the pedagogy, if that's fine.
Sorry, Chirantan, yeah. I think there was a lag on the call, So
right. So what I was saying is we can go with our introductions first, if that's fine, and then we can kind of go through the pedagogy and talk about how AgileBA is different from other institutions. So maybe I can go with my introduction first. So I have little over 19 years of experience. I am a senior program manager with Citigroup in London now. And in terms of organizations that I've worked with JP Morgan in the past. CRISIL has been an organization of repute. And then, of course, I've worked with other the IT companies as well. Now, I am an accountant by profession, but I kind of work in program managing front office technology projects. I have been a trainer for business analysis, agile program and project management for, I think, many years now. I think it's a passion that we share, both of us, Sandeep, you and me. So we are going to talk about some of our passion in just a few slides. So do you want to go with your introduction and then go to the pedagogy, if that's fine?
Yeah. So I'll just quickly introduce myself, guys. I've been in the industry for the last almost 20 years. Like Chirantan, I've been, have had exposure of working globally. Like majority of my career is all abroad. And I worked at different levels, from a startup company to $1 billion company at various levels. Okay, so I see business and business analysis and project management from different eyes of an investor, because I've been an investor in a few of the companies. I've invested my own monies. They say you have to have a skin in the game. So I have had my skin in the game in various businesses, and that's how I learned. And I kind of, we bring all that experience to into the trainings we do. And I think this, as I was continuing earlier, that we have had the massive success. We started from business analysis and Scrum and Agile, at the beginning when we started the company, me and Chirantan. But sooner or later, we have added the project management piece to it. So PMI courses were added later on. So that they are like PFMP, PGMP, and PMP, and we have kind of consulted, we work like a mentor, with the various people around the globe, and where we have touched, apart from the courses, we have done like personal grooming sessions with them, where we have helped them out to achieve, whatever they wanted to achieve in their career, whatever was the next stage they have had. So I think that is all about me, Chirantan. I think I'll.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So should we just go to the pedagogy slide? Okay, yeah. Perfect. So how are we different, guys? So first of all, a few places in where we are different. One is our method of teaching. The pedagogy that we employ is very different from other training, let's put it within quotes, training institutes as such, right? So we don't kind of do a monologue with slide-based presentation. Rather, we kind of hit the market or hit our workshops with hands-on workshops. These are hands-on workshops where we discuss case study-based pedagogy. Now, these case studies are something that we are very passionate on because I think when we were coming up the industry, when we were going up through our career ladders, we lacked this, Sandeep, right? That was one of the things that we thought of baking into this program, that people are only given theoretical understanding, but they don't know how to apply that theory, right? So that's 100%. What we do through this case studies. That's what we do through these case studies, where we give the case studies, we encourage participative discussions after we tell you the concepts. And that way of learning, you retain that knowledge for a very long period of time, right? And I think something that we've also seen as a very unique differentiator here, again, Sandeep, is people who have benefited, right? So we're talking about 270 people who've just this year alone, we have benefited from our programs in different courses altogether. They have seen that coming to this case study based curriculum often gives them that industry experience, right? So I think that's very important, right? We know what's happening in the industry. As Sandeep was mentioning, we both are practitioners. So we both are grooming BAs, we are grooming project managers, program managers ourselves. We are working very closely with architects, etc. So that has definitely a rub-on effect when we kind of do these programs.
I mean, 100%.
Yeah.
I think, sorry, Chirantan, just to add on, I think I would like to mention here that, guys, when a course is getting formed, like say, for example, a PMP certification or a CBAP, hybrid BA, certifications we do. When the certification was created, that might be like 3-4 years ago, right? But the institute still give you the same slide to teach it to the students, which might not be exactly relevant to the current market scenario. What is asked by the HR, by the hiring manager, it's way different. It changes very frequently nowadays, right? And based on that, we change our approach, and that's what we would kind of tailor make. Plans for the people and tell them what exactly they need to do in the current market scenario. If you tell me if you call me today and you say, Sandeep, this is my problem, this is where I want to be, I will obviously help you. But if you come to me next year, my answer might be very different. So that would, depending on what is a current market trend is going on, where the global industry is heading globally. Because see, we are no more competing local, right? We all know that. Right, we are sitting in a global industry at the moment where we have to compete with the whole world, right? So for that, you need to be really agile. You need to be really cutting edge and have to have that. You need to double your hands on day-to-day basis to know where the industry is heading, where it's going now, where it's going like 6 months down the line, where it's going to be in 2 years down the line, right? And from that perspective, from that sort of understanding and knowledge, that's how we guide our students or people we mentor. So I just wanted to add this. Sorry, Chirantan, please.
No, thank you. This is a very valuable input. Thanks, Sandeep. And then continuing in the same flavor, as Sandeep was mentioning, the other thing that we do as a differentiator is add value to the offering. Now, the problem is people just teach you the theory, they don't give you the toolkit. So we cover toolkits as well of how to how is the industry using these concepts. For example, when we look at hybrid B as an offering, which is one of our flagship offering, it has two umbrellas, right? So it has got the IIB umbrella, where you would have heard about certifications like CCBA, CBAP, etc. We've merged that with Scrum.org's offering, and we've kind of made a tailor-made program which is very unique to us. No one in the world is doing that, right? And we kind of cover tools like right from the agile storyboarding, right? Agile product roadmap. We kind of do this on the tools as such, right? So if you look at customer journey map, we do agile charters, we do business model canvas, which is very, very prevalent in the industry, right? So I mean, usually you would not see these being taught, right, in these courses. Now, the other thing, if you look at it, right, if we just talk a little bit about the PMI certifications for, I mean, we do all the entire gamut, but if you just look at PFMP and PGMP, Sandeep, one of the biggest blockades that I faced, right, where before I completed my PGMP, was my application has to be written in a certain way, right?
Correct.
And when I submitted the application, PMI sent it back twice because it was not customized. You remember that, right? When we were discussing that. Now, this is something that we are trying to reduce the pain, right? So because we're in the industry, we know the pain points. So we are trying to reduce the pain by helping you write the application for you, right? I don't think anyone else is doing that. That's one of the pivotal steps, and that's one of the front-running steps which is required even before you actually attempt for these examinations, which are anyways difficult. So of course, we help you with the mocks, etc. But writing the application becomes that first foundational pillar. Right. I think so. This is in a nutshell our pedagogy. That of course, we are going to be your lifetime mentors. That is another very distinguished offering that we have. So we don't just forget the candidates when the course is done. So I'm sure that we are looking at a few people who've been with us for a long time. So they have done one course. They've come back to us in their career journey to kind of enhance their career journeys even further. So I think that's the pleasure, right? And we of course like that as well. We want to stay connected as a lifetime journey rather than just one course, right? So that's what we wanted to mention. Okay, with that, I think we are done with these slides. One of the things which I wanted to show, Sandeep, is I wanted to share the fun part now. Okay, so when people come to these kind of webinars, they only get bored with these slides. Okay, so are you guys in the mood for a quick game, fun way of learning? How many of you say yes? Can you start putting yes on the chat?
Yeah, definitely yes.
Definitely, right? Okay, excellent. All right, so let me do a screen share, okay, where you're going to get a link. Let me actually start presenting this. Just give me one moment, and I will actually also put on the chat the link where you will get these questions. Okay, so if you click on the link which is there on the chat, you will get some questions when I will start presenting them. Please try and attempt these questions. These are actually questions from our real workshop, and gives you a sneak peek of how we do our courses. All right, so let's go to the first one. Okay, if you look at the first one, is the first slide coming in? Sandeep, are you able to see that?
Yeah, I can see that, Jonathan.
Perfect, guys. So we will start your time. We will try and keep it, let's say, maybe a minute. Let's
Jonathan,
see.
are you sharing your screen?
Yeah, I am.
As well?
Yeah. Are you able to see my screen sharing? Yeah,
no,
you can just stop sharing. If you stop sharing it, they will be able to see my screen share.
Brilliant. Okay.
Perfect, guys. I think there are a few people who are attending this. So we will encourage you to attempt this. We will kind of time us. Okay, so for the first one, right? After the last release in the production, the key stakeholders started complaining on performance issues. Wow, this is very much true in the day-to-day work, right? And that person comes to the Scrum Master. What should the Scrum Master do? Okay. So a few of you are saying, I think the majority of you are saying that encourage the PO to bring this up to the team so that the team can come up with improved definition of done. Some of them are saying Scrum Master isn't responsible to act on this. It is the PO's duty. Okay, awesome. We'll give it another 30 seconds, okay, just to get proceeding started. Okay, so I think we'll come to the answer now. It's quite surprising that the answer is actually not B or not D. So it's not the second one. Neither is it the fourth one. Okay, so the answer is actually wait till retrospective, because this is the appropriate time for the dev team to consider the definition of done. Exactly. So C is the right answer. All right, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying this. Okay, so we'll move to the next one. Now, this one is a topic from business analysis. Now, if you see the way we've designed these questions is we are trying to give you a sneak peek of different programs, right? So this is from the hybrid BA program. The first question was from Scrum. We covered both PSM as well as PSPO. This is from the BA part. So of course, we all love techniques, isn't it, on the business analysis side?
Yeah, we as a BA will live and breathe techniques.
We live and breathe techniques. 50 techniques are in the BABOK, right? So the business analysis body of knowledge has got 50 techniques. That's a whopping big number of techniques. And guys, the best part is if you attempt these questions, no one gets to know whether who is attempting it. Okay, so this is completely anonymous. So your name does not come to us. So there is no problem in attempting that. Even if you want to do a calculated guess, please, we would encourage you to do that. Because on this one, I think only 2 people have responded. We'll kind of give you a little bit more time for people to answer this. Guys, are you liking this? And are you liking the dynamic answers that are coming in on the screen?
I think Weber has had loads of fun in our trainings. He's a recent CBAP qualified in the room.
Hi, Vaibhav. Good to see you here.
Weber, are you listening? You're on mute, Weber.
Okay, so 38% say perform root cause analysis. We have to get the votes for surveys or questionnaires up, isn't it? I mean, it's almost like an election campaign going on. Yeah, interviews are picking up speed. Another 30 seconds, guys. Unable to unmute. Okay. Sandeep, I don't know whether we can help.
Yeah, so I've asked him to unmute. Just try now, Weber.
Okay, so the time is up for this one. So I'm just going to reset my clock of the timer. So a few of you said perform root cause analysis. Few said interviews. I think those were the higher votes. Quite interestingly, the answer is observation. Right now, why is this observation? Now, nothing has changed on the ground. Right now, the stakeholder is not able to give you the right requirements. Now, if the right requirements are not given, at that point of time, the BAs have to use both passive as well as active observation, right? So passive observation is when you're working, silently observing the stakeholders without asking them questions. Active observation is when you're asking them questions and trying to understand where this is going wrong. Okay, so that was a tricky one. We'll move to the third one. Let's see which domain is this. Guys, this is project management. I'm sure some of you are doing a mixture of BA come project management roles. Maybe some of you are inclined into becoming a project manager in future. This one is from more of the PMP question, the project management professional question. Let's see how many of you get this correct.
Chirantan, you go on mute.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I mean, you should be able to unmute now, Webber. I think there's some technical problem with this.
Or if you want to say something, you can put it on the chat as well. That's another way of communication.
Yeah.
Especially year-end appraisals, guys. If my boss's line is definitely not working, I'll allow that. I'll only say my share of the performance.
Correct.
Okay, we are seeing mitigate being quite a big favorite here, right? So 86% are saying mitigate, 25% are saying accept, no avoid, no transfer. Risk management is a very favorite area. I mean, it starts with PMP, but definitely is a topic which gets further discussed in PFMP and PGMP as well. So we'll see. We're almost at time for the third question here. Should we give out the right answer? There are a couple of people still trying. So another 10-15 seconds, please. So 1/3 are saying accept and 2/3 are saying mitigate. Guys, remember, if you would have seen this in these quiz shows, right? Kaun Banega Crorepati and How to Become a Millionaire. Majority sometimes wins. Okay, so we are going to give out the right answer now. If you are kind of looking at this, I'll keep the question on the screen just for a few seconds. The right answer, surprisingly, is the minority. So accept is the right answer. Okay. So, and now why is this accept? Because of course you are not doing anything here. So accept is the right answer. All right. So we'll move to the next one. This one is from PGMP, program management. So if people have got aspirations or you're already doing a program management role today, please try and attempt this. Let's bring it here. Stakeholders are always important. Stakeholder interest and influence diagrams. They call it also the power interest grid. If you are into the stakeholder chapter, project feasibility study. See, here we've got more variety. There is more color. I think people are definitely liking this section of the webinar.
I think it's a fun. I love these Mentimeter quizzes.
This is so much fun, isn't it? I mean, learning becomes so much fun. It is interesting, guys. I mean, you can understand, right? How different it is learning with us. It's not the boring learning.
We try to keep it fun.
Yeah. Perfect. And guys, of course, while we are playing this quiz, Sandeep is putting it on the chat, but I'll also want to mention this, that please discuss your questions as well as career related questions as well on the chat. I know that maybe we can unmute as well and try for others if it works just after this section, right? So we don't have anything further after this. So we would want to give our dedicated time, which is your time really, right? To discuss some questions, some interest on the topic. All right, so the time for this one is over. So I'm just going to reset my clock, and the right answer for this one is the resourcing. Okay, the human resourcing is the right answer for this one. So this one was also a very tricky one. It is not constituent component identification. It's not stakeholder interest and influence. Neither is it the feasibility study. Okay. All right. We'll see if the fourth one is any lucky for you. This one is portfolio management, guys.
Number one.
Time to market variability is a good measure. Yes, of course, time to market variability looks like the right measure here, right? So your company specializes in BI tools to stay ahead of the competition. Your company has a strategic goal, right? So what does it say? Your company has a strategic goal that products can be used with future design changes. As a portfolio manager, you focus on number of marketing factors. To do so, you use which technique? Market requirement variance analysis. So we don't have anyone for point A. Everyone is going with B, C, D. And B seems to be winning. D is catching up. A has been answered as well. So look at the amount of confusion, right? Thanks, Webov. Thanks for your encouraging note here. So Webov says, thanks once again for all the learning sessions. He could only get the CBAP certified after attending these training sessions. Thank you so much, Webov. You are now a star. You're gold dust, isn't it?
He is a gold dust. He's a CBAP. How many CBAPs are there in the world? Chirantan, what are the numbers?
Oh, I mean, these numbers are really, really paltry. I mean, if you look at TMT, you have, 1.2 million, right? Or 12 lakh TMPs in the world. But as compared to that, less than 15,000 CBAPs in the world. It's a really prestigious certificate to earn and keep as well.
Yeah. So he
exactly
is really a gold dust.
He is, absolutely, he is. So should we give out the answer for this one? Any last people or anyone who wants to attempt? No. So the answer for this one is not the majority. So 29, 29, 29. It's actually the first one. Market payoff variability is the one to choose when you are discussing different market factors. Okay, so in portfolio management, this is one of the techniques which is a very tricky one, right? So that's the one. So we've reached the end of the presentation, guys. Hopefully you've liked it. So I'll stop sharing, and maybe Sandeep will get our original presentation back. And this is time for you guys. All right. So it's time for you guys to kind of ask, show interest in our programs. You can kind of ask for some career guidance as well. Anything is welcome. Your time. You want to give
Hi,
it
I've been asked a question. Oh, sorry, Purnendu, go please.
Hi, I am Purnendu Maiti. So I am working in the industry, let's say for around 14 years. I am already PMP certified, CBAP exam given. Hopefully it will be cleared.
Excellent.
So basically, probably I am thinking for future course.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, GMP, I have heard in LinkedIn, I mean, some folks, but I don't have the right idea, basically.
Right.
So
and Purnendu, where are you located? Which place are you located in, if you don't mind us asking?
I am in Pune.
You're in Pune.
I work
Perfect.
in BNY Milan.
Okay, excellent. So see, Purnendu, what happens is, one thing which I want to give as an advice is that nowadays there is very less preference for pure play PMs. You would have understood this, that the organizations want dual skills, right? Now, when we talk about dual skills,
kind of,
isn't it? So they need, because they just want to shrink their budgets. They just want to reduce their wallet size.
Yes.
That's the honest. I mean, I am a hiring manager. Sandeep is a hiring manager. We are all doing that, right? In our respective organizations as well, right? So if we get a person with dual skills, so for example, PM as well as BA, then we can kind of get both done with the same individual. So which is why I would say, Purnendu, it's a great choice if you have PMP as well as the CBAP, and wish you all the best that you get the results quickly, because then you will definitely become a distinguished person, especially in India, of course, because in India, I mean, I think it's less than 300 CBAPs which are there in India at the moment, right? But another thing which is more future focused, Purnendu, is these may not actually take you to very higher designation. So there are people who come to us, EDs also who come to us, and we kind of mentor them. I mean, VPs, AVPs, EDs, etc. Now, it depends on profile to profile. But one of the things that we have seen is that, the higher PMI certifications definitely are sought after when you want to increase your position in the industry, right? And one misconception is that you need to do a PGMP before a PMP, or a PMP before the PGMP, or a PGMP before the PFMP. That's not the case, right? These are
Correct.
not staggered, right? These are not staggered. In fact, I'm already a PGMP looking at the PFMP. Sandeep and me both are looking at PFMP, God willing. And then, when we kind of train people for these courses along with our trainers, we kind of look at their profile, judge what is your aspiration as well, right? It is not just, let's say you don't want to become a full-fledged program manager or a portfolio manager. Your interest is more into digital technology, or your interest is more into agile. So there are different positioning that we can do, Punnendu, but looks at your profile from whatever limited understanding we have, and we can have an offline chat that possibly either of the PFMP or PGMP might be very well suited, because you've already done your PMP, you've already done your, maybe God willing, you will get to that CBAP.
Definitely. Yeah, I am.
That
See,
is
actually, that's why once I contacted you in LinkedIn, maybe
right.
we can talk after this.
Of course, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
sir. Of
sure.
course. Of course, we can talk.
Sure.
All right.
So I think
Who
Harsh
else is
has
there?
asked the
Harsh.
question.
Excellent. So I am a banker with
Hi.
10 years sales experience in banking. How can I make my career as a BA? How is it different from analytics? And which is better as a career? I'm from a non-tech background person. Thank you so much, Harsh. Someone asked that question. Okay. Because it's a myth. When people come to us, this is the most common myth, that BAs are only for the IT industry or for technical background people, right? That absolutely is not true. In fact, if you look at it, I don't know, Harsh, where you're based, but if you look at it from overall in the industry, and we will share the salary surveys, by the way, before we forget, please, can you mention your email addresses so that we can send you the salary surveys from IIBA and from PMI, which gives you that understanding of which sector is paying you more, right? This is a very detailed survey. It talks about cities, talks about roles, etc. Now, taking that question back there are people who come with non-tech background. I mean, there are various people we can talk about. One person came from staffing industry. So that person was in HR recruitment, didn't have any idea of technology, right? And did that hybrid BA course with us. So understood how a BA operates, and we start from scratch, understood the Scrum part as well, because this is an integrated course. And after that, what's the output? This was the output. The outcome and the benefit is that this person is working as a Scrum Master in one of the largest IT firms in the world. So from completely a non-tech background, that person moved into this.
But don't come here for 5 minutes.
You need the torch though.
Sorry, Charantan. I muted you, I think, by mistake.
Ah,
I
sorry,
was trying
no
to
problem.
mute myself. My daughter entered the room, guys. Sorry.
No problem at all. She wants to join into one of the courses, I think.
She's already
already
managing
interested.
lots of things. She's already product manager now.
Exactly. So I think, see, we had people who came exactly from your background, Harsh. So a lot of people come from sales background, business development background, and why they have a markedly successful BA career is because you're already doing the BA part. So when you're looking with sales, or when you're working in the sales profile, you're already talking to people who are giving you requirements. So half of the BA jargons you already understand. It is just that your choice of words has to be, kind of tailored. Your choice of words has to be groomed. And that's what me and Sandeep are trying to do for the industry, right? We're trying to give back to the community. We want the community to grow, right? So that's the idea. Yeah, so I think, Harsh, hopefully that answered the question. Puneet has raised his hand. Puneet, do you have a question to ask?
Yeah, Charantan.
Hi, Puneet.
Since you know me quite well, right?
Yeah.
So Charantan, my BA career is going good, and I'm working on this data lake, AWS platform, right? But
Yep.
I, started my career from the banking, right? And I'm preparing for this FRM examination also. I'm thinking to complete this by next year, December. Now I'm also thinking for CBAP certification, right? So in between, if I can, go ahead on this. So will you be given some mocks, to attend so that, I can start preparing from them, and so that
Yes.
I can try for this year and
Of course.
completing CBAP certification.
Of course. See, I think, Puneet, of course, you have been into one of our courses earlier, right? I mean, so you know the way we talk about experiences, we share our learning journeys, and because we share our learning journeys, some of these learning journeys are used in the interviews, right? So the examples that we give into our case studies are the ones that we use. Our people, the candidates use that in the interviews, and they have come back and told us that your experiences have been really fruitful because I have been able to crack that difficult interview. Now, two things, right, Puneet, going back.
Correct.
One is we will give you our own mock, which is not only tailored to CBAP, but it will also give you sectional understanding, right? So there are different sections when you are appearing for the CBAP. It's very important for you to know which section you're not doing well, right? So the mocks that we have has that advantage that, it tells you which section you're weak at. So you go back to the BABOK, and we of course give you a textbook as well when you enroll. And the second thing is, now there is not a lot of focus on the waterfall side of things. The industry is now evolving, and there is a lot of focus on a BA who is playing the dual role, that of the original business analyst role, coupled with writing user stories, right? So writing user stories, writing epics, writing features on tools like Jira, etc. That part needs to be understood very well, isn't it, Puni? So, I mean, you remember our earlier conversation that you should join definitely the hybrid BA, which involves the Scrum part as well. Because remember, we teach you both the Scrum Master as well as the product owner side of things. And the product owner part is something that you can graduate into in future. So while you start off as a BA after clearing the CBAP, but then in order to become the product owner, you would definitely need that certification, which will help recruiters filter your profile, right? So, and you will know how the product owner prioritizes the product backlog. I don't think anyone teaches you that. Sandeep, does anyone have, when you did your own coaching, have you ever come across people who have taught like us, right? How the prioritization is being done, right? So the weighted ranking methods and all of those things.
Correct. No, I absolutely, Chirant. I mean, that's the reason we keep on adding these things. People which are required in the industry at the moment, and people aren't doing it.
Yeah.
Like they're giving you lots of theory, lots of slides, lots of books, lots of this, lots of that, and you're left alone to actually go and hit and trial those things on your own and just see which one works, which one doesn't work. And if something is not working, then up to what level? Like where would it not work?
Yeah.
And what are the things which are working? And working means like which are working 80%, 50%, 30%. How would you actually know?
Yeah.
How would you know these things unless you've been in the industry for many years and you've seen the same profile from various eyes, and I think Chirantan have hired, how many BAs have you hired so far, Chirantan, in your lifetime?
I think that's a big number. I mean, I would have hired 300 BAs. I mean, in one of the organizations, I had 100 people reporting to me as a team, right? So of those 100, I think they easily 70 of them would be BAs. So just imagine in one organization, if I had had 70 people as BAs, I would have closely interviewed at least more than 700, 800 people just for one organization, right? So imagine how much of effort it would take to hire 300, right, over the careers. But yeah, it's a very evolving industry, I would say, fast-paced, evolving industry with skills which need to be done. Hey, Deepak has put something as a question. Okay, he wants to register for the hybrid BA course. Okay, yeah, that's great. Deepak, we'll connect offline. Any other questions, guys? Because this is a one-time celebration that we are doing. So please make use of this time. I don't think we will have this next year.
So Chirantan, I really agree with you. Whatever you mentioned, since I'm maintaining the technical backlog and prioritizing those technical backlog, it's really a difficult thing because since it's a technical, you have dependencies on other, right? And it's not always you can reach out to you in order to prioritize the things or in order to, understand the things, right? You need to have, those things in yourself because it will not look good in your project, right? So that is one of the skills one would really have in order to, at least prioritizing the backlog.
See, I'll tell you one of the advantages that me and Sandeep have, Puneet. Okay, just the other day I was discussing this with Sandeep, and we want to share these stories, right? So one of my my manager and another guy asked all of a sudden in one meeting that, hey, do we have a person who can write the BDD syntax? Now, how many people here know what is BDD syntax? Can you put yes on the chat? BDD. Any of you knows BDD syntax? Now imagine me being a program manager, I told my boss that, hey, I can help you with the BDD syntax, right? So the BDD stands for behavior driven development. Now there is a particular way that the BDD requirement has to be written so that it removes the ambiguity from the development team. So that's the advantage of using BDD technique, right? Now, these are some of the things that we talk in our workshops, right? And, these are just jargons. When you know what BDD syntax is, you will laugh. You would say that, hey, I can write this. But it's just that the industry calls it with a particular terminology. And you need to know those terminologies sometimes to, kind of be in the right shoes at the right place at the right time. Right? So that's going to be important. Sahil, you had a question? It seems your hand is up as well. Do you want to unmute and ask?
Yeah, I have a question. Yeah,
Please.
definitely. So, like I have experience of 7 years in US mortgage industry, and it's a operations background and a part of underwriter as a trainer working. So just question is regarding like how this will help me like to grow my career if I'll move with this course.
So in the operations with using your operations background, isn't it, Sahil? That's the question.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yes. Sure. I think that's a great question. So I'll tell you, I was handling APAC operations for trade and transaction reporting in my earlier role. Okay. I was an APAC product owner for an operations team itself, Sahil. Now, what we do in operations is, of course, there are two or three different things, right? Now, operations is all about the BAU. So maintaining the BAU, improving efficiencies, doing more automation. Now, that definitely comes under discretionary spending. However, a great part of operations today is undergoing transformation, business transformation through two parts, right? So one is regulatory change. So regulatory change definitely impacts operations in the way we function, right? So let's say we are working for a bank, right? Now we will have to adhere to regulatory changes from the regulator. Now, because I was working with trade and transaction reporting, let me give you an example. Of course, you will have to adhere to what are the ISDA taxonomies, right? So ISDA stands for International Swaps, the derivatives depository authority, right? Now, the other thing is you will also have to get aligned to MiFID, depending on the regime, MiFID or SFTR, Securities Financing Transaction Reporting. Now, this role within operations, we hired close to 100 people in India. I'm telling you, Sahil, close to 100 people in just 1 year's time.
Okay.
And most of them were not the RTB team, right? So the BAU team is known as run the bank, right? In many terminologies. Now, the people who are actually doing the project work are known as change the bank. And the budget is largely spent in change the bank initiative, because when you're changing something or you're doing a first time reporting, you have to put that as a project. Now, BAs are the people, BAs and products are the people who are driving that requirements. They are the people who are getting the requirements from people, writing it into user stories, and gone are the days when you have BRDs. I don't know how many people are working on BRDs today. I mean, you can just take a poll here. I mean, have you ever seen a 50-page business requirement document which BAs used to prepare? I think these are all through the window now. They have all gone through the window. They're out of the window, right? So we are mostly into writing the requirements and doing it in iterations, right? So understanding in small chunks. Agile is It's no rocket science. I'm telling you, we both are agile coaches, me and Sandeep. We both are agile coaches. We are certified agile coaches at the enterprise level, right? And our when we kind of engage with people, we tell them only one thing, right? That even at the enterprise level, keep it quite basic. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfect. Any other? I don't know whether Sahil that answered your question. Did that answer the question?
No, yeah, I got your point. I got you.
You've got some perspective. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. And of course, we can always
Yeah,
chat.
thank you.
Sahil,
I think
myself and
Ruchi-
Sandeep are happy to chat.
I think so. Yes. Sorry, Chandra, you're on mute. I think Ruchi wanted to, she said she's quite keen.
Sure.
She needs something. She has sent me her contact details.
Oh, of course. Yeah, and I think one of the questions that she's asking is, do we help with CV preparation, right? So definitely we do help with the CV templates, right? So we definitely send you a CV template where and these are sometimes these are templates which are curated. So for example, you want a template where you want half of them to be a product owner's role and half of it to be a BA role with, let's say, operations background. We send you those kind of templates because we've been hiring in the industry for a very, very long time. Of course, these will not have personal information on them. It is all sanitized. And we send them and you can use them, right? You can use some of that to tailor your own CVs. So we definitely do that. Okay, Ruchika has her hand up as well. Hi, Ruchika.
Yeah, I've got a details.
Good morning from my part of the world. I do not have a question, but I definitely wants to comment. I just want to share my experience and how I feel after I've been linked with you and Sandeep. So when I joined you for the CBAP exam preparation, I was the person who was not from IT background. I've only worked for 1 year in IT industry as just some different role, and I was trying to get into a new role. And I had no idea how the role works, what are the terminology, jargons, and what are the detailed. Definitely, you join a course, you learn. But then there is a difference that you enjoy that learning. It was fun. I was looking forward to the next session. So I was always motivated so that, I'm going to join the class. They're going to be fun and I'm going to learn. And learning was it's not that I only learned the concepts when I was in the session. Those concepts were linked together in my mind. So that's a difference that one person is doing this industry and the other person who has been in this role for a few years. So you see that difference that they know. When I just attended the classes, after the session, I was not feeling that I'm new in the role. I'm a new BA. I already had that understanding of this role that I was feeling that, I've been a business analyst for a few years. And that's how I acted when I was attempting for the job interviews. So, I was surprised to see the changes in me just after the session that I was not even feeling myself as a new person in this industry. I was acting as if I have few years of experience and I know the system concepts, the process in and out. So, and even after the course, it's been a year, and Sir Sandeep, they have been connected with me and they always act as a mentor. And that's the amazing thing, that you would attend the courses and then you will say bye-bye and you will never gonna turn back to them. And I know how hard it is to just spare a few minutes, from your busy schedule to guide and mentor somebody. And I think Chirantan and Sandeep, they have a passion for this, that, they want to groom and mentor the candidates. So that's the amazing part. And I think whenever I'm gonna be into the next stage of my career, I'm always gonna come to Chirantan and Sandeep and nowhere else. So that's been my experience. And I thought I just want to share that.
Thank you so much, Ruchika. Thank you for those kind and encouraging words. In fact, people who don't know this, if I can share, Ruchika, with your permission, she is a CCBA, she's a PSPO.
Yes,
Recently, she's completed her Agile Certified Practitioner from PMI, and we are discussing on, the future roadmap as well. I'm sure we will see you as a trainer very soon in the industry. Ruchika. Okay, so that's great. I don't know, Sudeshna, are you able to speak? I don't know whether you want to break the good news to people. What did we achieve today?
Oh, yeah, Chirantan, with Chirantan's help and motivation, I just completed the PSM today. And really, I want to say, guys, just join this. You don't have to even think again because I didn't know where to start from. Like, I was into Java and Cognos, and I just didn't like coding at all. I didn't know where to start from if I wanted it to be a BA. So I joined this course in some other forum, and then that's where I met Chirantan. Trust me, I forgot about that forum. It's just him that I remember. He will create a roadmap for you. He'll help you whenever you want. He'll ask you which certifications you need to do, how you need to move forward, and his trainings are just awesome. It's not just about the concepts. Also, you have so much case studies, so you never ever get bored. Like, I have attended multiple times, and trust me, you just keep waiting for when he's going to announce the next session to come by. And please, guys, just join it. I'm telling you from my experience, someone who hated studying, and after years just started with Chirantan, and now I just enjoy so much. And he was just kick-starting my certification also. I didn't know how to start, where to start. And now I feel like, I want more in my life, more of certifications. Guys, trust me, you are not losing your money if I bet you are just on the right path. He's a great person. Like, I just have so much respect and trust, which is very important. Trusting the person to help you in your career. You cannot trust anybody. Trust me, it's all about money. But for him, it's not about money. He wants to help you. He wants to make a change in your career, in your life, in your money. The money you get, make your income. So he's a great person. He's a great trainer. Not just a trainer, also a person, because I can just ping him anytime and ask him, like, can I call you? And he's ready for it. Me, I'm much junior than him. Still, I would spend so much time on someone, helping that person out. But you just ping him, is always ready to help you. So trust me, you're not losing your money. Please go ahead, spend on him, and he'll give you back a lot more than what you spent. From my personal experience, I can go on and on. So I think I should stop here. So please just
no, thank you, Sudesh. I think this is really overwhelming, and thank you for the kind words. I think me and Sandeep need to get bigger shoes to fill into this role and continue this.
I was just thinking the same. What else shall we do for these guys next? I think,
yeah, but I think
so
this is great success. Yeah, this is great success. I think while we are doing this last part of the curriculum for this year, we want to give back to the community, and we always encourage that when you get success as well, you also become those brand ambassadors, right? So you try to give back in your own special way to the community. So that's something that we will definitely encourage, right? So we are almost at time. Are there any other questions? Oh, Vaibhav has a question. Okay.
Raghu, can you unmute? Is it possible for you? I'm just giving you the permission. Else you can just type it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah. Hi. So, hi Chintan and hi Sandeep. So, I'm as a banker for the last 12 years. I want to transform to BA. So, I need a advice and roadmap. So, what I need to do, which score suits for me, ECBA or CBAP.
Okay, and Raghu, yeah, let's actually kind of talk a little bit about offline. But Raghu, the important thing is, see, if you are into investment banking or retail banking, right? Depending on where you are, if you're in India or if you're outside in the globe, I think the BA industry is accelerating in a big way, right? So we will definitely want to send you the surveys and see, the BA journey is a very easy cakewalk journey if you're regimented. I think the only thing that me and Sandeep ask is you join us, just be disciplined in the approach, give us a little bit of hours over the weekend or something like that. We promise you, we've got 100% guarantee. I don't think anyone has not finished that journey, right? Everyone finishes that journey. So it's not difficult. It's no rocket science.
Correct. you will see, I think, in the class, like when we are starting a new batch next Saturday, there's a gentleman, like he missed few classes in the last batch he has done with us. He is a banker as well. He was into, I think, operations or retail banking sector. He recently been selected as a business analyst within the banking domain itself. And he hasn't done all the classes because he was working on the weekend in the bank. So he missed few classes, and he'll be joined as well. I mean, he's already tasted the success. He has already got that 33% of hike in his salary already on the table, like within a span of maybe, I think, 2 to 3 months we were talking about. So yeah, I mean, if you just leave me your contact details, Raghu, and with your LinkedIn profile, we can connect offline. And if there are no more questions, I think, yeah, thank you, Raghu. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if there are no more, you're welcome anytime. And if there are no more questions, I think we should, it's a time to wrap up. It's already been an hour. I think it's the weekend. People are busy. So we should respect the time. Is there anything else you want to mention, Chirantan, or shall we just call it a day and just say a massive thank you to everybody who have taken time out?
Yeah, I think it's just a massive
and,
thank you. And exactly. We just wrap it up. I think, and thanks for attending, guys. I think it means a lot to us. Hopefully we should be able to carry on the good work together.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Good weekend. Take care. Bye.
Bye.